Well, good morning, folks. It's Monday, the 11th of May, 2020, and welcome to another daily devotional. This morning in my daily reading, I was in James chapter 3, and at the end of James chapter 3, it says this. It says, "He who is wise and understanding among you, by his good conduct, let him show his works in the meekness of wisdom. But if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast and be false to the truth. This is not wisdom that comes down from above. This is earthly, unspiritual, demonic. For where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there will be disorder and envy and every vile practice. But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruits, impartial and sincere. And a harvest of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace." James, in this context, he's just spent the previous verses in chapter 3 talking about taming the tongue and how the tongue is a fire and can light a fire, and the tongue is evil. But as Christians, as believers, we shouldn't be praising God with the same tongue that we're cursing people with. We need to be a fresh pool of water so that salt water doesn't come out. We need to be taming our tongue. And so often we get into so much trouble just because of random things that we say that we really shouldn't say. But he goes on and he talks about wisdom. And he says that wisdom is really, really good. And there's wisdom that comes from above. But the opposite to that wisdom is bitter jealousy and selfish ambition. Now, in one sense, it's good to be ambitious for the Lord and to do things well and want to go on and to achieve. But if that ambition is selfish to the extent where it tramples over the tops of other people, if that ambition is motivated by jealousy and bitter jealousy, then what happens is it's earthly thinking, it's worldly thinking, and that worldly thinking then becomes an unspiritual stronghold, and that unspiritual stronghold then becomes a foothold for the enemy within our lives. Like he says, it is worldly, it is unspiritual, it's demonic. And so there's this process that goes on whenever we exalt ourselves to the exclusion of other people. Whenever we exalt ourselves because we are bitter with someone else or we're jealous of someone else's position, whenever we have selfish ambition that seeks us to elevate ourselves above others, then we are opening ourselves up to demonic attack. That's what the scripture says. We are creating a stronghold within our lives that elevates us but diminishes others. And this is true in every area of life, even in ministry. We need to be those who make sure that we're ambitious for the Lord, but not ambitious for ourselves to the exclusion of other people. Jealousy, selfish ambition speak to self-exaltation and resentment against others. Whenever we do that, we create a toxic environment around us. And we create a toxic environment around us because we've created a toxic environment on the inside of us. And the Lord wants to set us free from that. He wants to set us free from bitterness. He wants to set us free from jealousy. He wants to set us free from resentment. He wants to set us free from this kind of self-exaltation, building a platform for ourselves kind of stuff. Jealousy, bitterness, resentment. They are areas of our lives that if we don't deal with them, we give the enemy a foothold. And if we give the enemy a foothold, we allow him to run ragged within our lives. And we don't want to do that. We want to walk in purity and we want to walk in love. We want to bless one another. We want to celebrate one another's successes, not be jealous of them. We don't want to give in to bitterness. We don't want to do that. Because, listen, if someone else gets everything and you get nothing, at the end of the day, whenever you get to where you're going, whenever you come into the kingdom, you're going to be given all things. All things are yours, according to what Christ says. But what we should be seeking is the wisdom that is above. And in these days, wisdom is so key and so important for us. The wisdom of above is, first of all, pure. It's peaceable. It's gentle. It's open to reason. It's not stubborn and pig-headed. It's full of mercy. It's full of good fruits. It's impartial and it's sincere. And if we sow to that kind of wisdom, then we will reap a harvest of righteousness. So guys, I would want to bless you this morning and to encourage you, seek the wisdom that's from above. Deal with the resentment, deal with the bitterness, deal with the jealousy, deal with the self-promotion. Because in these days, God is reshaping so many things. But what he wants to reshape most of all is our hearts. Hey, have a great day.